everyone, and welcome back. Today's just going to be a short tutorial on how to read a crochet pixel chart or Graphgan chart. I cannot believe it's taken me this long to make this video for you guys. I have included pixel charts in just about every single one of my crochet patterns. I've made videos showing you how to make this chart, but I've never showed you how to read and work this chart, but no worries. We are here today, we are doing it, and we're going to do it together. With that being said, to work along this tutorial with me, all you're going to need is a crochet hook. It doesn't matter what size, just as long as it corresponds to the weight yarn that you're going to use, a pair of scissors, 2 different color balls of yarn, and you don't have to print out the chart to follow along with me if you would like. This is the Retro Flower car charm chart that I will link down below for you if you would like to follow along with me. But that is all we're going to need for this tutorial. So let me go ahead and rearrange and let's get started. Okay, so before we get started on working with any yarn, we're going to go through how to actually read the chart. If you look at the chart here, you're going to notice that we have numbers along the bottom here and along the sides. These bottom numbers here are going to show what stitch number that you're on. So each one of these squares is going to be a stitch, whether you're working in single crochet, half double crochet, it does not matter. Each one of these squares is going to signify one stitch. Of course, if you're working with a corner to corner pattern, each one of these squares is going to be a square in that corner to corner Lapgan, Graphgan, you know, whatever you are using at the time. And these numbers along the side here are going to be what row you're on. So with that being said, how you read this chart, we're going to be working from right to left because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you'll be working from left to right. So getting started, your first stitch is going to be right here in this bottom right-hand corner. You're going to chain however many numbers that you need, which in this case it's going to be 23 because that 22nd stitch is going to be worked in the second chain from the hook. So you'll have 22 stitches in total that you'll be working from right to left. When you move on to row 2, you're going to be chaining 1, turning, and then working from left to right. So again, each odd number, you're going to be working from right to left, or even, you're going to be working from left to right. And it is going to alternate between each one of the rows. So row 1, again, you're going to be working from right to left, even, left to right, odd, right to left, and then so on and so forth. And you're just going to keep going until you reach the end of the graph. So again, it's super easy to follow. It is a great way to maintain consistency throughout your pattern. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I find myself getting lost in patterns. So I'll mark my chart as I go just to keep myself organized. That's why charts, again, are another great way to follow along with any pattern that's got an image or any kind of Graphgan. So I would definitely a fan of these pixel charts. I use them whenever and wherever I can. So now that we have a good idea of how to read the chart, let's go ahead and work it together. Okay, so now that we have established how to read the chart, let's go ahead and start working the chart together. So I'm going to just use the colors that I used for the chart, so just a pink and green color. But again, please use any yarn colors, chart, you know, anything that you'd like to use while following along. It's all going to be the same regardless on what chart or colors that you use. The technique is just going to be just the same. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So like we discussed, we're going to have 22 stitches across, and we're going to be working this pattern in single crochet. So I'm going to be chaining 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And for this first row here, it's just going to be 22 single crochet in green. So to start, we're going to be single crocheting in the second chain from the hook, like so, and in each chain down. Okay, so I'm coming up on the last stitch of the row. If I can't get it in. There we go. All right, there we go. And for row 1, again, you should have 22 single crochet in green. And every single time I finish a row, I just kind of make a star at each end just to make sure that I am following the pattern correctly or the chart correctly so I can keep my place. So I don't make a mistake here and don't figure it out until here. So I always mark, even if it's a simple row like the same color, I always mark it just so I don't make a mistake, because I am very mistake prone. So I have to make the time and effort to do these things or it's going to be a nightmare. All right, so moving on to row 2, we are going to chain 1 and turn. And again, we're going to be working from left to right. So it's going to be another 22 stitches or single crochet in green. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this row for you, and I will be right back for row 3 where we start making the color changes. Okay, so I just finished up with row 2. Again, you should have 22 single crochet in green. And again, I'm going to go back into my chart and just mark the row that I finished. And now we're moving on to row 3 where we start doing the color change. I'm going to be using the cut and tie method for color changing. It's just my tried and true. It's what keeps me organized. Please feel free to use any color changing technique you would like. This is not going to change how you work the chart at all. So please feel free to do what is best for you. So with row 3, again, because we're working an odd row, we're going to be working from right to left. So we're going to start here and count how many stitches in green we have until we reach the pink. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll have 5 single crochet in green. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 single crochet in pink. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet in green. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet in pink. And then to end the row, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet in green. And usually beforehand, before I even start working a pattern, because I'm usually working a pattern as I'm writing it, I will completely draw out the chart in color, kind of how I want it to look like, to see if the colors match up at all. But this is usually how I write my patterns to begin with. I will just sit down for a good hour or 2 and just go through and count all of the color changes in my chart before I even start writing the pattern, because it's just so much more efficient, you know, for me to be able to go through and just kind of mindlessly write out the pattern and write out how many color changes or how many stitches in each color. So if you want to do that hard part first, before you even start working a design, even if you're not writing a pattern for it, I would just go through and do what I did here and just start writing the stitch counts, and the chart is going to save you so much time, and you won't have to stop every row and kind of write down or sit here and count for each row after you finish them or before you begin a new one. So again, just a little tip, if you'd like to do that, you absolutely do not have to. It's just what works best for me, and it saves a lot of time. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start working row 3. We're going to start with those 5, well, we're going to chain 1 turn first. Then we're going to start with these 5 crochet in green. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to leave that single crochet incomplete so we can tie on our new color, which is pink. Again, this is just the way I color change. I know it's funky, but it is just what works best for me. Please feel free to do it what works best for you. All right, and I'm just going to kind of mark where I've finished. Again, it's just to keep myself organized, so I'm not kind of guessing where I'm at, especially if you have a lot of color changes, as some of them have still similar stitch counts. For each color with more intricate designs is just a good way of keeping yourself organized, so you're not having to repeat stitches and frog a row because your stitches don't line up because you repeated something you shouldn't have. Just another tip for you. So again, moving on, we're going to do 4 single crochet in this pink color, leave the 4th stitch incomplete, tie on this green color, and then we've got, we'll mark, I'll just mark the end here, and then we're going to do 4 single crochet in green, 3, 4, again we're going to leave that incomplete, tie on this pink shade, and mark what we've done here. Next is going to be 4 in pink, 2, 3, 4, leave that incomplete, and we'll tie on this green shade, finish that stitch off, mark what we've finished in the chart, and then we're going to finish this row with 5 single crochet in green. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Super duper simple. So that is going to be for row 3 when you're working the odd rows. Again, you're going to be working from right to left, and I'm going to go ahead and just go through how to work the even row real quick. I know I said this was going to be a short tutorial because I always say that and then I start talking and yapping and it ends up being like 40 minutes long. Oh well. Thank you if you stuck around this long and just listened to me yap. I really, really appreciate it. Because when I'm editing these, I literally can't stand the sound of my own voice, so I can't even imagine you poor souls who are having to listen to me teach you this. I will try to change my tone. Maybe I can change my tone to a softer, quieter tone in post-production, so to say. So just please bear with me. But we're going to go ahead and start working row 4. And again, for even rows, we're going to be working from left to right. So just doing the hard work first. We're going to be counting out each stitch counts for each color. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just do this quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it's the same. So we'll do 6 here and then 4 here, just to make it easier on ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1 turn. We're working 4 single crochet in green. 2, 3, 4. Finish that stitch off. Then we're going to be working, well, first let's mark what we've done. All right, now we're going to be working 6 single crochet in pink. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Touch our green color, mark what we've done here. We're going to be working 2 single crochet in green. Going to tie on our pink. Mark through what we've just done. Another 6 single crochet in pink. Oh, am I out of focus? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Snip that off. And of course I have dog hair all over the place because Jillian is in peak shedding season right now and her hair is absolutely everywhere. All right, we're going to mark what we've done here. All right, and then we're going to finish this row with 4 single crochet in green. There we go. And then I have the extra step of pulling my ties through because I work with the cut and tie method. Right, and then I'm gonna mark where we finished here. And it is literally just as simple as that. So you're going to be repeating that for each one of these rows. Odd is going to be right to left, even left to right. You're going to keep working on until you finish the chart here. And when you finish, once you reach this 22nd stitch up here, all you're going to have to do is fasten off in any way that you like to fasten off. I'm going to go ahead and finish this little panel up and we will wrap this tutorial up. All right, I am completely done. This is what your flower should look like if you followed the chart along with me, just to kind of show you what my chart looks like now. It is a complete mess, but you can see how I just wrote all the numbers for each one of the colors and squares and kind of mark them as I go. Again, just to keep myself organized. You do not have to do this, especially if you are one of the chosen ones and was gifted with amazing talent to stay on task and to remember what you did. I unfortunately was not gifted with that particular gift, and I'm very salty about it. Thank you. And yeah, I really hope this was super helpful for you guys, and it will motivate you to try something new and to try to follow a pixel chart if you haven't done so already, or kind of refresh your memory, or even inspire you to create your own pixel chart for your own projects. Again, if you want to follow along with this chart, it is my retro flower car charm pattern from my blog that I will link in the description box below. I will also link all my tutorials for color changing, including the cut and tie color changing that I used for this. And I will also go ahead and link the tutorial for how I created this chart in Stitch Fiddle for those of you who want to go ahead and create your own charts for your own patterns, or if you plan on designing something with a graph or a picture. You know, I really just want to help inspire people to kind of, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, to kind of hone in on their creativity, because it is such a beautiful outlet, especially in times where things are a little unsure, you know, things are a little crappy and you want to just kind of get lost in a good craft. I think this is a great outlet for that. So without me completely going off and yip-yapping like I always do, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. I will leave all of my social media links in the description box. Also, if you want to get in touch with me, the best way to do so is on Instagram, or even just emailing me directly, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And with that being said, I will let you guys go, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.